Goodwill. What exactly is a goodwill? Is it the will to be good? Is it to have goodwill? Is it some guy who married my aunt who behaves well? Is it a sorry excuse for a non-profit organization? Perhaps it's all of these things, and perhaps it's none of them. Perhaps we will never actually know what it means to be goodwill. But what I do know is I have a mouth, and I can use this mouth to ask people questions.
Could you tell me what Goodwill is? No? No? Okay. Excuse me. Could you tell me what Goodwill is?
Goodwill?
Yeah.
Next door, right now.
Yeah? Alright, thank you. Excuse me. What is Goodwill?
Where is it?
What is a Goodwill?
Goodwill, it's next door,
Yeah?
and it's where people donate stuff.
So like clothes and stuff. Alright.
Well, sadly we had no luck there, so, hey, what was the question for this week? Yeah, I see. Hold on, so, God, stupid garbage, Noah, Jesus Christ!
Embrace the cheese.
Oh, bro.
Well, as it turns out, after 6 whole months of doing this, I don't know how to make videos. I must have had a stroke or something, who knows. What is Goodwill wasn't today's topic. It was what does the Goodwill and other thrift or pawn stores mean to us as gamers, and how have they changed over the years, so, let's re-roll the intro, maybe? So, the Goodwill, the will of good. It was founded in Boston, Massachusetts way back in 1902 by this dapper little gentleman. Ever since their inception, their goal has been simple, to
Basically, you give us the stuff you're not using, and we sell it to someone who'll use it. Then, we use the money to educate and employ people.
You see, what a lot of people, I'm talking the large majority of people, don't understand is the reason that things used to be so cheap at Goodwill compared to some of their current prices as of now is because back in the good old days, Goodwill was ran by regional boards all over the US. The people who ran these regional boards were considered volunteers, and while they did make a good amount of money, the company was never owned by a single person, and the stores were never individually open for franchising. They weren't owned by, say, your Uncle Jerry, who lives down the road. They were owned by the Goodwill Corporation. This is one of the many ways that they kept prices so low for so long, because the prices fluctuated based on the income of the people living in certain regions and state-specific locations. So as the average income fluctuated, the Goodwill prices did so as well. But that all changed. The entirety of Goodwill is run by a single man named Mark Curran, the president and owner, who makes an astonishing salary of over $2.3 million a year. This income reflects the recent upticks in Goodwill prices nationwide. Now you're asking why. Why does it matter so much to you that my Uncle Ron can franchise a Goodwill? Why should it matter to me, as a gamer, that the Goodwill, a thrift store chain, can be franchised now? Well, I'm glad you asked. Goodwill used to be the only place I was able to go buy video games, simply because growing up my family rarely had money and we went to the Goodwill constantly. We'd go there for school clothes, backpacks, shoes, pretty much anything that we could because it wasn't that expensive. I got my PS3 from Cub Scouts, not my parents, and back then the industry, i.e. Goodwill and stuff, didn't really quite understand the value of games, and so they were selling them for the same price as DVDs, or in the PS1's case, 99 cents and 50 cents respectively. They sold Game Boy games for $0.25 and Genesis carts for 40 cents, or 50 cents, or whatever. as time passed and capitalist greed grew more and more rampant within the higher-ups of Goodwill, you can walk out of the Goodwill without spending at least $5 on a video game. Any video game. And they keep them locked in this glass case so you can't look at the discs, and you gotta go wrangle an employee and beg them to unchain the V-Smile cartridge you want. It's like, come on, man. I just want to play Alphabet Park Adventure. Why do I have to get all this detail over here? I don't understand. Why does it... Now you might be saying to yourself, screw off, Noah. No one cares. You don't want to spend $5 on a game. I spend $60 twice a month on my digital games, and I don't have to worry about physical copies or how cheap or expensive they may be. Now, I'm gonna be completely blunt with you. You're right, but hear me out. This is a video game, and this is a digital game. Now, do you see where I'm coming from? I totally understand what you're trying to say. You know, discs can scratch and their cases take up space, and they're just another thing that you have to move whenever you move house, and it can be annoying and blah, 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 blah. The thing is, there's not much like taking a step back and looking at your bookshelf that's just covered in video games, you know? It's a joyous experience that I think everybody should at least try before they write off physical media. I know it's dying, and this is probably going to be the last console generation where we actually have a disc slot, but I digress. Something that I can hold in my hand, something that I can say is mine. I can enjoy it. And when your childhood consisted of food stamps, McDonald's back when they were 99 cents, cereal, and Little Caesars pizza, the difference between 99 cents and $5 is a lot. So growing up under those circumstances, I think at least, is one of the biggest reasons why I just love the Goodwill so much, and to see them go down this rabbit hole of corporate greed just makes me really sad. Nowadays, I have my own money most of the time. I'll be in college soon, so that won't be true for very long, but I digress. I can afford to spend $5 on a game every now and then, but the reason I go to the Goodwill isn't for clothes or shoes anymore, because they're the same price at Meijer sometimes. I go to Goodwill shopping for games, old consoles, electronic doodads, and PC hardware. And the Goodwill can just not have any of that stuff sometimes, you know? Just about 2 months ago, I was in Jacksonville, and not only did they barely have any games at all, but the ones that they did have were shovelware, like the PS2, OG Xbox and DS games like NASCAR 2000, Shrek, and the DS Dictionary. Growing up with only the few games that I had from Christmas one year, you know, the DS Dictionary or Shrek on the PS2 or NASCAR 2000 would have meant the world to me because, you know, it's a video game.
So what really is Goodwill? Maybe I'm not the correct guy to answer that, but maybe it's a special place to some people like it was to me growing up. I'll always be a Goodwill gamer, you know? And to all aspiring Goodwill gamers, good on you.
This video was disjointed. This video didn't have a clear direction. This video was all over the place. I trash talked to the Goodwill, and I said some crazy stuff, and I told you about my past, and you saw my face. It was madness. But all in all, I just want to say thank you for watching. I was gone for about a month or 2 months or however long, and the large majority of you guys stayed. And whether that's because you just forgot you subscribed or you actually stuck out, that would, I mean, it means a lot. I'm glad we were above 60 for a minute there. Now we're down at 58, 59. You know, the numbers don't mean everything. I'm doing this because it's fun. I shouldn't feel obligated to do something that I don't want to, so I'm not. You know, the Goodwill, it doesn't mean that much to me. I know I made it out to seem like it was the world and everything, but, yeah, I don't know. I like it. You know, if you guys don't like the Goodwill, if you think you shouldn't go buy clothes there because of bed bugs and stuff, or you just want to tell me that I'm welcome me back to YouTube, then you guys do so in the comments. I would really appreciate it. I've also got my Twitter link down there, the subreddit, you know, all the socials down in the description, so you guys go check that out. I get pretty bored over there. So, without further ado, while you wait for my next video, which won't be a month away, I promise you, you can go ahead and watch some of my other ones, but remember, if you don't, no one cares.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!